In this eerie exploration, we delve into the Yorkshire Ripper's horrific legacy. His reign of terror, marked by fear and violence, struck at the heart of communities across northern England. A tale woven with atrophy in law enforcement and society's vulnerabilities, this chilling episode prompts reflection on the complexities of justice and evil. Join us as we retrace the steps of this notorious criminal. In June 1946, Bingley, West Yorkshire welcomed a child into a working-class family, a boy named Peter William Sutcliffe, destined to entwine his life with unspeakable horror. Growing up, Sutcliffe left school early, engaging in various jobs with a notable stint as both a driver and a gravedigger, roles that would conceptually foreshadow the dark path he would soon walk. From 1975 to 1980, Sutcliffe unleashed a reign of terror across the counties of Yorkshire and Manchester, carrying out a gruesome series of murders that would instill fear in the hearts of women. The chilling whispers of his existence drove many to avoid walking alone at night, as the press sensationalized the atrocities, dubbing him the Yorkshire Ripper, an ominous title pulling parallels to the historical figure of Jack the Ripper. His infamous campaign began with a survivor in 1969, yet it was a decade later when the shadows of his first confirmed murder stretched long over Leeds, claiming the life of 28-year-old Wilma McCann. In the following years, at least 13 women would ultimately fall victim to Sutcliffe's brutal methods, struck down by hammer blows, or victims of stabbing and bludgeons, their final moments marked by his violent signature, leaving traces that would haunt investigators. A significant shift occurred in 1977, when 16-year-old Jane MacDonald, not involved in sex work, became an unwitting casualty. This indicated a crucial pivot in the hunt. As fear escalated within the community, the realization struck that no woman was exempt from danger. Meanwhile, the dedicated investigation consumed millions of hours. Yet police mishaps plagued their efforts, with Sutcliffe being questioned 9 times without a breakthrough, and lives slipping away as a result. Compounding the tragedy was the interference of hoax letters from Wareside Jack, which misdirected police, scattering their focus and allowing Sutcliffe to evade capture for longer. Furthermore, systemic failures appeared evident in the treatment of victims, leading to victim blaming and insufficient protection, particularly of those in vulnerable positions. Controversy brewed further with the 1988 legal ruling in Hill v. Chief Constable of West Yorkshire, establishing that police owed no specific duty of care to potential victims, a decision met with critical scrutiny and ongoing debate. The legacy of the Yorkshire Ripper thus lingers with immense gravity, a poignant reminder of what happens when modern policing, forensic science, and societal attitudes intertwine, often catastrophically. On a cold day in January 1981 in Sheffield, a routine police check led to a series of revelations that would haunt the UK for decades. Police had spotted a vehicle with false number plates, and upon stopping it, the driver, a man with a troubled history, requested to relieve himself behind a bush. It was a seemingly mundane moment that would spiral into something dark and far-reaching, as officers later discovered a discarded hammer and knife, pivotal pieces in an unfolding crime puzzle. As investigation took a dramatic turn, the man confessed to being the notorious Yorkshire Ripper. His confession shocked the nation, unearthing a chilling reality of a killer with a twisted logic defined by perceived divine orders. During his trial, he pleaded not guilty to murder, instead claiming diminished responsibility, stating that he had heard a voice directing him to cleanse society of filth. However, the jury remained unmoved by this defense, ultimately convicting him of 13 murders and 7 attempted murders, leading to sentences that would confine him for life. The ultimate implications of Sutcliffe's acts were profound, impacting not just the immediate victims and their families, but also the standing practices of UK policing. The Byford Report of 2006 meticulously reviewed the investigation's approach, revealing the need for critical reforms in handling extensive and complex cases. The horror stories echoed through communities, forcing a public reckoning on issues surrounding women's safety, a collective awakening underscored by marches advocating for change. Survivors and family members continued to bear deep scars, with many feeling isolated in their pain, struggling in silence for years due to the societal stigma surrounding their trauma. The case's legacy sparked a broader dialogue, urging society to confront uncomfortable truths regarding violence against women and how victims were treated, both by law enforcement and the community at large. In the aftermath, vulnerable women found their voices, breaking the cycles of shame and fear, while the echoes of fear still lingered in Yorkshire and Manchester. This dark chapter in history spurred significant change, igniting a movement that sought justice not just for individual cases, but for a future where every woman could walk freely, without fear. As we reflect on Sutcliffe's reign of terror, we recognize that the pain endured transcends one man. It is a clarion call for continued vigilance and reform. So what can we take away from this case for Cortex crime and for you, our viewer? A killer doesn't always fit the profile we expect, and police systems can fail. Hoaxes and public misdirection matter. Time lost may cost lives. Treatment of victims, especially vulnerable ones, affects investigation outcomes and public trust. Reform can follow tragedy, but the good work must continue. True crime is not just a story of the past. Lessons are live and urgent. Ultimately, the Yorkshire Ripper case remains a stark reminder of how one person's spree of violence can ripple outward into families, communities, institutions, and leave a mark on a nation. Thank you for watching this episode of Cortex Crime. If you found value in diving into this case with us, please like, subscribe, and toggle the bell so you don't miss future episodes. Let us know in the comments which UK true crime case would you like us to cover next. Until then, stay sharp, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.